Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. I'm Terry Flewers from the Football Terrace, joined by Claude. We're back again. Back again. Leicester, they get themselves through. They pick up the sorry, no, they don't. Chelsea beat Leicester. They put themselves through to the semi-finals. A bit of extra time we got to see there. It just felt like job done. Not an easy job for Chelsea in the end, but they got the job done. They got themselves over the line. Leicester had that little period where they equalised and then stupidly sat off and just let Chelsea come back into the game, which I thought was weird. But myself and Claude are going to discuss that with you. We also have the live semi-final draw coming up as well, so stay with us for that. You can give us a call on 0203 606 0315. But before you do that, please download the OneFootball app. It's the main sponsor of our show, first and foremost, and it helps us massively when you do that. For you, the viewers, it's first of all free of charge. But on top of that, your news, statistics, voting for man of the match is all in the palm of your hand. And on top of that, our family that kind of holds us all together, the Ultimate Football Fan, our app is now available for you via the App Store, Google Play, or in the description below. You download that. There's lots and lots of content on there, including lots of exclusive stuff. If you fancy watching Troops and DT have a cook-off between each other, that's on there. You want to see me walk around West Ham Stadium with a few hammers talking about the corporatisation and the death of their club, that's on there. Amongst loads of other things as well, so go and check that out. We've got the lines open, ready and waiting for your calls. But the FA Cup draw is going to be coming pretty soon. We'll find out who Chelsea, Tottenham, Man United and Southampton will be facing. And you're worried about Spurs winning it, aren't you?
Yeah, I think everyone will be wanting to avoid Spurs. I think the Chelsea and Man United will want to avoid them.
Yep, I agree.
Because they are the team at the moment, the form team of the four. But it should be interesting to see what happens. Who's you as a Man United fan, who would you prefer?
Yeah, I would prefer either Southampton or Chelsea. I would rather avoid Spurs for now because that form isn't where I'd want it to be. I think we've got a caller coming through, actually, a Man United fan who's ringing up to talk to us. Terry needs a trim. My hair's good, bruv. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Good evening, it's Dowell here from Middlesbrough.
Oh, hello, mate. How are you?
Hello, mate.
Not too bad, thank you very much. I feel sorry for Leicester City.
Why?
You know, they're up against a tough opposition, you know. Chelsea are a pretty decent side, you know, away from home. And against Leicester, you know, they've beaten them, I think it's like twice they've beaten them this season now. But you know, I'm looking forward to seeing who Chelsea play against in the FA Cup semi-final. And as a United fan, I'm hoping it's not United.
Why?
Because I'd like Southampton because
Well, yeah,
you know, it's an easy game.
I get that.
Easy game.
So as a Man United fan, are you scared? Are you intimidated of this Chelsea and this Spurs team? Do they intimidate you?
Well, you could say that in a way. And I'm just watching the final draw.
What we'll do, try and call back a little bit later. We're going to watch the semi-final draw and we'll speak to you in a moment, all right? Thank you very much, my friend. The draw's going to happen now. Petr Cech is completing one half of the draw.
It's the only Arsenal involvement here.
Yeah, and he's there as a Chelsea legend.
Yeah, well, he's... Yeah.
So number 1 is Tottenham. Number 2, Man United. 3, Chelsea. 4... It says Wigan or Southampton, but that's wrong. Southampton definitely went through today. If you have just seen that on the screen. So let's see. I'm not sure what they're saying. I can't play the sound through, but they're a little chit chat now. That's coming up in a moment. Look, I think I can't speak for all Man United fans. I think everyone wants to avoid Spurs in the semi-final with the form they're in. Of course, you want Southampton, but I'm surprised Man United fans are scared of this Chelsea team. We beat them a few weeks ago. They weren't amazing today. They're in worse form. They're in compared to Man United, they're in a much worse space. So I wouldn't be scared of Chelsea. But look, whoever you get, you got to beat them, haven't you? At the end of the day, I said it earlier, I'd rather lose to Spurs in the semi-finals than beat them in the final.
Jersey can get under Antonio's skin.
Yes, of course he can. He'll just throw the match fixing conversation in again or something like that, and we will see. So draw's coming up now. Let's see what I'm really nervous. I am nervous. There's loads of comments coming through. I don't know whether to believe the people what they say. First ball's coming out. Oh, who's it going to be?
He's looking as if he doesn't want to take one out.
Number 2, Man United. We get the home dressing room. Well, that'll throw Spurs off a little bit. Who's it going to be? Who's coming out next? Go on, Zach Franco. Grab number 4. Grab number 4.
You watch it's Chelsea. You watch
No. It's Spurs. Man United Spurs semi-final. There we go.
Oh.
Tough game, but you got to do it. All right, big semi-final that.
You didn't want, innit? So.
Do you know what I'd say about that though? You don't want to. What I would say about it though, Spurs have a tendency to bottle things.
What it means is it's going to be a good final though.
Yes, that means Chelsea versus Southampton in the quarters. Chelsea, Abs in here, the producer today, is celebrating as a Chelsea fan. Chelsea, Southampton. We don't even need to see Southampton come out. We know who they're going to play. So, but there we go.
Mark Hughes against his old club. As well.
Can you imagine Mark Hughes wins the FA Cup like about a month into being a manager?
Yeah, but I just
yeah, let's put the calls through.
Looks like Chelsea have got a route to the final then, doesn't it? Really, I mean.
There we go.
I can't see Southampton do it.
Lots of Man United fans in the comments here looking a little bit worried, a little bit. Look, I said this yesterday, and I'll say the same.
Have a good final.
It will be a good final, but look, I didn't want Spurs. I'm not going to deny that, but they've crumbled at every big opportunity that they've had under Pochettino.
The last time he went to Wembley, it wasn't exactly brilliant, was it?
No, but it's I do think it'll be different. It'll be equal amounts of numbers of supporters in there. Yeah. The little bit of advantage, we're going to have the home dressing room, which means they're going to be in the away. Little things like that might play a factor, but Man United will have to be at their very best to beat this Spurs team. And the other side of it, just thinking off the top of my head,
no Harry Kane.
No Harry Kane for that. It'd probably be back for the final. So I'd rather play Spurs without Harry Kane than with him. You've got to look at the positives, but at the end of the day, Man United would have to be at their absolute best.
The two teams that have gone out of the playing each other, that went out of the Champions League playing each other.
Well, all three English teams, all 3 of the English teams that got dumped out of the Champions League are in the semi-finals. We've got an Arsenal fan coming through now. Some comments I'll read through in a moment. Hello, mate. Welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Noah.
Sorry.
Noah. Hello, Noah. Yes, mate. What would you like to say?
I just heard your point about Mark Hughes, and if he won the FA Cup, what a great start that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that, but how many times has he been sacked since he was a great manager last time round? Like, Mark Hughes has been a good manager for some clubs, but for other clubs he's done nothing. So why do you think he can do it with
No, I didn't say he can do it. I think you've misunderstood. I just said, imagine like joining. I think he joined yesterday. Yeah, imagine joining like mid-March and then winning the FA Cup. It only got them through 2 rounds of it. I suppose today as well. It was even in charge today. But either way, like imagine only being at a club 6-7 weeks and you win a trophy with them. It'd be amazing. Will he do it? Very unlikely. He's got to get past Chelsea, and then he's got to either beat Man United or Spurs in the final. Extreme uphill challenge for them.
I can't even see them get past.
No, Chelsea. I can't either. I was being a little bit facetious in what I was saying, but in terms of the Chelsea performance today and then the semi-final draw, Noah, where's your mind on sit with that? Who's the favourites now for you? Noah? Oh, I think he went. I'll ask you that then, Claude. Who would be the favourites now in the tournament for you?
I still, I think it's Spurs, Man United. Oh yeah, I still feel, Terry. I'm not going to have a go. I just feel Spurs are the favourites because they've got the advantage of playing on that pitch.
No, I agree with you. I agree. I completely agree. It is their home ground at the moment. They're used to it. Yeah.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if they mess it up though, because when it comes to the crunch, they think that.
Well, that's the straws that I'm clutching onto here. In terms, look, on any given day, we know that all these top teams can beat each other. What I'm hoping for is what I've been saying about Spurs for 18 months is that they crumble at that vital moment. You know, dominating against Juve, they crumble. Semi-final against Chelsea, crumble. Challenging for the title against Leicester, they crumble. That's what Man United fans have got to hope for. They had that sort of that bottle goes a little bit. But if Spurs turn up and Spurs are at their absolute best, they're very hard to beat. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Yeah, hi, it's me from just before.
Oh yes, so Man United get Spurs. What's your thoughts on that?
One of the draws I don't think I wanted. It's going to be a tough game. Obviously, Spurs at their home ground at Wembley Stadium, well, temporarily. with the result that we got against them last time, I don't see much hope. Obviously, 2-0 with the defeat that we got last time at Wembley against Spurs. And, they've got Harry Kane, but we don't know how long he's going to be out for. I know he's out for about a month at the minute.
Yeah,
but the question is, he'll probably be back by the time we get to the semi-finals, so I'm dreading it.
It's about a month he's out for. So do you have any confidence that Jose Mourinho and this Man United team, with the array of talent they've got, do you think, how a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are Man United in your eyes to qualify through to the next round?
I'd say in the middle, because the game can go either way.
United
could.
Cool. And obviously Chelsea played today. Chelsea got themselves through to a semi-final. It's been a pretty disappointing season for them. They've got to fancy themselves to make the final now against Southampton. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Chelsea will beat Southampton. Because I think Chelsea have always beaten Southampton. It's going to be an interesting semi-final. It's going to be interesting to see who actually goes to the final and who goes on to win it. If Chelsea win, then obviously, it's going to be good for Chelsea because it's something that they needed. They're not going to win the league because Man City, I believe, are probably going to win it.
Yeah.
They can't win the League Cup. Man City won that. Champions League, they've just been knocked out by Barcelona. I mean, it's good for them to get a win because now it boosts their confidence for the next couple of games that they face. So.
Yeah, mate, appreciate your call. Thank you very, very much.
Also, I think Jose in a one-off game again, and I think he can turn that around against Spurs.
Look, Jose gets a lot of detractors. Yeah, it is a one-off game. The amount of fans in the stadium will be neutral. Man United will have the home dressing room. Spurs do have a tendency to bottle it. There was a comment here from Will Graham who says Spurs have showed us that they have turned the tide and can finally win something with that team, with question marks. I mean, obviously, being an Arsenal fan, Claude, you've got to want Man United to win this semi-final. And worse than that, seeing them lift the FA Cup, would that be the first? It's like 30 years since they've won it. It won't feel nice if this Spurs team start winning trophies as well as being a better team than Arsenal right now. To start winning trophies would have to hurt yourself, right?
Of course it would, because it does hurt a lot. I mean, it hurts me that they're all so many points clear of us in the league as well. It hurts me that they are a better team than us this season. But at the end of the day, I think I've got a feeling that could go right to the end. I think that could even go to penalties. That game. I think it
could be close. Jose could just stink the house out, make it just nullify everything. A weird comment on here. Someone says, "Terry, would I like some grape juice?" Some of you are weird. Some of you are really. We've got a Chelsea fan on the phone now. We'll put them through.
Oh, here we go.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name, buddy?
Hello, my name's Elliot. I'm a Chelsea fan.
Hello, Elliot.
Hello, Elliot.
First of all, happy with your team performance today against Leicester?
Overall, I'm happy. Obviously, going through to the next round, I don't think it's a performance that can fill you with full of confidence. But I think we managed to get the job done, and obviously very happy with the draw in Southampton. I wouldn't have liked to have taken our chances against either Spurs or Man United.
When you saw the first two numbers come out the hat and you saw United Tottenham, instantly did you just have relief?
Yeah, in all honesty, I do. I think this season our league position is sort of reflective of the quality of our squad. I think we have a thin squad, and I do think Man United on their day, if Jose can pull off a tactical masterclass, and certainly Spurs with the balance that they have throughout their team, offer a better option than Chelsea at the moment, unfortunately.
Elliot, do you think if you win the FA Cup, do you think that could change the position of your manager? Do you think he will stay, or do you think he'll still go?
In all honesty, I agree with what Danny Murphy said on BBC. I think it's an inevitability. I don't think he's had the best of seasons himself as a manager, but I certainly don't think he warrants the blame that he does.
As a Chelsea fan, though, right? You've got a semi-final and a final to win still to get silverware this year. But I can't fathom how Chelsea fans accept the behaviour of your board in terms of if he wins the Premier League and then wins the FA Cup the following season, they've purchased players that he didn't want. sold players that he didn't want sold, and loaned out players that he wanted to keep at the club. If he ends up winning a trophy this year, Premier League champions last season, to sack him just feels disgusting and wrong. I can't fathom or understand that.
No, neither. Well, I can't fathom it, but I can understand it. I don't want to. Don't get me wrong. I'm not Conte out at all, but I can understand it just because of the principles that sort of the Chelsea has been built on for the last decade. It's been a sort of a roundabout with managers in and managers out, even despite success. Look, Ancelotti won the double. Next year he came runner-up and he got the sack.
Matteo won the Champions League.
Yeah, man won the Champions League and got sacked 3 or 4 months later. Now, we know what Chelsea do. Mate, I really appreciate your... Hang on, actually, who do you make favourites right now to win the FA Cup? Who's favourites for you?
It's funny, I just said in our lads group chat, I think Tottenham, they have to be favourites, and I don't think there's any...
I'm cutting you off after saying that, mate. You got to go. You got to go. No, I'm joking. Thank you very much for your call. We really appreciate it.
No worries.
Top man.
No worries.
Cheers.
See you later.
Mr. Ahmed on here. There's a comment here. I'm trying to take these age things very personally. Terry looks drunk and haggard. His old age is catching up with him. He can't handle the booze anymore.
It's probably me.
No, he's singled at me. He always does. I was drunk on Friday night. Yes, I have just about recovered. I am 32 years old, but I don't like being called old. But leave me alone, you bullies. We've got another call coming through. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hi, mate. My name's Matthew.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello, cool, mate.
What's on your mind, buddy? What do you want to say today?
I was just gonna reflect on the draw.
Yep, go on, mate. Tell us what's on your mind.
Right, I don't think Man U want to look back at their last result at Wembley. They want to forget about that. Improve in the next game. I think I just have a feeling Tottenham are going to win it. I don't know why. I just feel like they will.
What, the semi-final or the whole tournament?
The whole tournament.
Well, they are favourites. They're used to playing on that pitch. I know that the fans will be 50-50, but you'll have to put a better performance than you did in the... Are you a Manchester United fan?
It's Arsenal, I think.
Are you... Sorry?
Arsenal.
Are you Arsenal? Sorry, mate. Sorry.
It was that London accent that gave it away.
No, sorry. Sorry, mate. Sorry. No, the Man United will have to play a lot better than they did in the league game, of course. But but you never know. I mean, Harry Kane's not... I don't think he'll be back for that. And even if he is, I don't think he'll be
back
fully...
at the end of April.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be back for that game. And I think they'll be all right. I think Man United have got a chance. They've got a chance. I don't think Spurs, they still have to beat Chelsea in the final if they get to the final. That won't be easy because Chelsea have got a good record over Spurs in that.
True,
when it comes to the crunch.
I said it to the last caller. I would make Spurs favourites right now myself. Their form, the fact they play at Wembley a lot, but the biggest factor in this is a mentality block.
It ain't right though. It's not right that they're playing the semi-final. I mean, the final you can't change that, but I mean the semi-final they're playing in. They've got home advantage, and the rules state that semi-final should be played on neutral ground.
It's not neutral. No, I get that. I get that. No, I understand that completely. I do get that.
And that's why I think the FA Cup has become a farce.
No, I get that completely, and I understand that. I suppose the thing that's in my mind though, and I say this with no disrespect intended to Tottenham Hotspur fans. My dad is a Spurs fan, but for me, this is going to come down to mentality. Man United and Chelsea in their semi-finals, potential final against Spurs. They're used to winning. They're season winners. They're the two most decorated teams in the last 15 years in English football. Spurs have a mentality block at those moments in times. However, this could be their moment. If Pochettino gets them over the line,
that they're up there with the big clubs and they've got to win.
They do, and if they do it, and if they get the victory and they start winning trophies, one, they'll hold on to a lot of the players that are potentially thinking of leaving, and two, it could be the kicking point they need to make them maybe challenge for the Champions League and or the Premier League. So it's massive for Spurs. In some respects, it's bigger for Spurs, their squad and their progression in the next few years, than it is for Man United and Chelsea, mate. But look, really appreciate the call. Thank you.
Having said that, I'll pull you back on that. You said, remember when we didn't win for a long time?
Yeah.
And everyone was saying, well, if this Arsenal team can win the FA Cup, that will lift them.
Yeah, but you got Wenger in charge. Like, no, but I did think that.
I'm just saying.
No, I get that, but I think the difference with Arsenal, when you guys won it after being 2-0 down against Hull, and you came back into that game, I remember thinking, right, this squad with Arsenal could move on. The problem is that you didn't do the investments when you needed to. You didn't buy the right players. You didn't have the quality. But the premise is still there. And I think you look at Man United under Fergie. They won their FA Cup. They went on a great run. And then they had a little lull in the early noughties. They won that League Cup against Wigan. And they went on another great run. But you have to invest. And, you know Wenger and his penny pinching. We've got... Who's this fan calling through? Man United fan coming through. Only one Chelsea fan so far. But that's fine. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name, mate?
Yeah, lads, my name is Zain. I'm calling from Manchester.
Hello, mate.
Fantastic. What's your thoughts on Chelsea's performance, or are you ringing about the semi-final draw?
Just seen the draw, to be honest.
Okay, and how are you feeling as a Manc? How are you feeling about playing Spurs at Wembley in a few weeks' time?
To be fair, I think we should really fancy our chances. I think the league's really shown that we're second in the league and we've done something right this year, and we've beaten Spurs so far already once this season, so I think it'll be a good game. But in terms of the way Spurs play, I think it'll be more of them having a lot of the possession, but we've shown that we can really score goals on the counter-attacks and take our chances.
What we have done, and I think Jose's going to have to get his decisions right. For instance, right now, if we're playing them tomorrow, like Scott McTominay has to start in that game.
Definitely.
He has to play. Right now, Sanchez can't be anywhere near the Man United starting line on the bench, but he's not performing. Yesterday, you saw a better Man United team. Pogba dropped, and I want to see Jose pick the players that are in form, pick the individuals that are playing well. And look, we know that when Pogba switches it on, when Sanchez are on form, they're two of the best players in the Premier League. But I want to see Jose remain strong, pick the players that are in form, and then just go for them. Because, again, Spurs, they don't have a heritage of winning trophies. They don't have a heritage of... I mean, was it a few years back, Harry Kane's time? They had Portsmouth in the semi-final. Should have beaten them. Flopped. They flop, they flop. They lose their bottle so often. And United need to play on that. Jose has to have his mind games. But I'm not disrespecting Spurs. If I come across that way, I apologise. Spurs are a very, very good side, but they don't know what it is to win. And you have to, that mentality gap is missing.
I'd have to agree with you on that. I think Spurs have shown that they can play some really good football over the season, but they haven't really won anything to show for it. So they're a really good team on paper with good balance, but I don't think they know how to win a trophy yet. They probably will do in years to come because they're really developing as a team with this new stadium and everything. But I think we've got the experience, and with Mourinho, he's always got a game plan for these type of games. And I think we don't have to necessarily play better than them, because I know we haven't played extremely well this season, but we've won games that people don't think we've won.
Can I ask you?
Go on.
Game plan.
Can I ask you? Do you think it's got this policy of these cup keepers and goal? Do you think now
Romero?
Now would you bring?
De Gea's got to play.
But I know I know what you're saying. But
I don't care about those
but
things.
there's all this cup keepers have got to be in. What is Mourinho's stance on that? Will it be like?
No, I
Wenger,
don't think he will.
I know Wenger would play Ospina instead of Czech.
I'd have to agree. I'd have to agree with what Matt was saying, because it's about the players that are on form. If we lose this game, then people just criticise Mourinho about not playing De Gea or the players that should have played.
I don't think you're right. Jose can't afford it. Jose Mourinho, if he left out De Gea because he was a cup goalie and and we lost by an odd goal or a goalie mistake, Jose would be. They'd set him on fire. Someone to set him on fire. That's the anger of Man United fans right now. I mean, sitting second in the league ain't good enough. There's a crisis going on.
Isn't there an agreement though?
I don't think. I think De Gea played already in a cup game or two this year. Maybe I'm wrong, but I wouldn't do it. Let me ask you this question, please, mate. I've had someone come here asking, a few people commenting in the sections on YouTube, asking me if I'm scared. Can I ask you this as a Man United fan? Are you scared of Tottenham?
No, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of Tottenham. Reason being is because, like I said, we've beaten them previously this season, and also I think we can really win. Like if we play the players that are on form, because we've had a good run of games. We beat Chelsea and Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
So we can we can show that we can beat these teams. They're not out of our league, but it's just we need to come in with the right players and the right game plan, and I think we can beat them. So it's
Absolutely.
definitely not. If it was a Man City, I'd be more worried, and they're not in the cup.
Yeah,
But
mate,
I'm
really
kind
do appreciate your call here at FanPark Live. Thank you very, very much. One thing, someone's put a super chat in here. How do I pronounce your name? Hamdu. Hey, Hamdu 212. Better get your £100 ready. We have had a £100 bet that. What was the bet? Remind me what the £100 bet was. I know I committed to a £100 bet with somebody, but I can't remember what it was. Was it that Chelsea? You remind me what that bet is. Put the comment up and I'll read it out and we'll go through that. I know we had a bet about some Man United winning something. Remind me. We've got a Chelsea fan on the line, and then we're going to go through the Ultimate Football Fan and One Football app. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live, mate. What's your name?
Terry. How you doing, Terry?
I'm very, very well, thank you, buddy. How are you feeling after making it through to the semi-finals?
Oh, that was a very close one, to be fair. And I think, like, in the second half, we were panicking a bit. And Leicester starts to play their game. And I think they got what they deserve. And they forced us to do extra time. And I know we're a bit tired after the Barcelona trip. And I think, like, it shows our mentality, our character, that we wanted more in this season than last season, basically. And the way I'm looking at the draw right now, Southampton is not a team that you can underestimate. They're a very decent side, and they're good. They have I think they play once before in Wembley. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not sure. Yeah. They play once. I think last season.
You've got to remember though, you're playing Southampton in the semi-finals. They beat Wigan. Wigan beat Man City. So basically, Southampton are better than Man City. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
It's a joke. I don't mean that.
I know.
Sorry, I did choke myself there saying that nonsense. But look, I get everything that you're saying. Are you confident that Conte and your Chelsea boys could go on to win the FA Cup this year? Do you think it's plausible?
50-50. We have to see. We have to see in April. Like we have like run of fixtures like relatively at home before we go away at Southampton, and we meet again against them at Wembley.
What's more important? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Claude, how you doing?
How you doing, mate? What's more important, I think, though, is that to get that top 4 spot, really, for you, isn't it? I mean, I think that will. If the manager is going to stay, that will make sure he stays at the top 4. Otherwise, I don't think the FA Cup will be a bit enough. I know. It sounds bad, but Chelsea have to be in that Champions League next season.
Absolutely.
Especially as I think there's going to be a bit of an overhaul on the squad. I don't think this squad is good enough to be challenging for the title next season, and I think there's going to be a big overhaul in the squad next season for them. And if you're going to attract those players that you need, I think you need to be in the Champions League, because you're not going to, in the Europa League, it's very difficult to get them players.
True. And I feel like if we beat Tottenham, I think we have to beat Tottenham in order like to have a chance against going to top 4. Because when I saw the Liverpool result yesterday, it's kind of dropped my spirit a bit. And
that's probably a bigger game than the semi-final, really, realistically, because you have to be, because realistically, I think that's the big your big aim now is to finish in the top 4.
True. Yeah.
Mate, really do appreciate your call. Thank you very,
mate.
very much.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Gordon. Good evening, guys.
Take care.
Top man. We're going to take a quick look now at the Ultimate Football Fan app to start with. Now, if you haven't downloaded this already, the information for it is in the description below. You can also go and just type Ultimate Football Fan into the iTunes or into the Google Play, whatever kind of device you're using. When you download it and open it up, you'll see Robbie's beautiful little face on there. You'll see my ugly mug shouting like a fug on there as well. That's what my dad says. Like, you look like a fug. I'm just shouting. You can click it, and the live function is really good because all the full-time shows that we do are live on the app. So if you don't have access to YouTube where you are, if you've got the app, but there we have it. You can see it. You can see it on there. You can see. I'm not going to do it. We're not going to click play, but there's the live apps. There's the live streams you can see in there. There's me and Mr. Claude. as you can see. But there's all the other stuff as well. You've got the exclusive footage within this as well, which is great. The thing that I think's gone down massively well, trending on the app over the course of this week, was completely cooked. You had DT versus Troops in terms of having a big cook-off show. Lots of comments going in there as well.
I don't think I'll be eating that food there, mate.
Who'd you say is the better cook out of DT and Troops? I think Troops would be better myself.
I'll tell you what, I don't think I want to taste either. To be honest with you. No, I would actually go for Troops actually, because he's probably got that Caribbean touch. I love Caribbean food. It's nice. He's got that.
There we go.
So,
and as you can see on here, I know we're on a Chelsea channel right now, so we'll click on the Chelsea thing. You got all the major football teams on here. You click on this, and then you've got all different Chelsea reviews, different interviews. Louis on there, different vlogs. Literally, what's great about this? It's, you know, YouTube's brilliant. Of course, YouTube is great, but this puts all of your favourite YouTube channels in one app for you. A lot easier to find, quicker to find. So go and download it. Get it on your phones now and sort yourselves out. The other thing we've got to take a quick little look at, of course, is the OneFootball app. We always do that. If you haven't downloaded that already, what have you been doing for the last 3 or 4 months? Click on the result here today. Morata was voted as man of the match.
Oh, you're joking.
I'm shocked. Why Chelsea?
You're joking. It's got to be Kante.
13 votes Kante got. What's wrong with you Chelsea fans? Unless you don't have the app.
Morata. Jeez.
Hazard got more votes. Hazard got 3, 4, 5, 6 times more votes. That is madness. Kyle Butler puts a super chat. I always read out super chats because they pay for them.
These people
he just wrote managerial. I don't really know. Who's got 8? Oh, Willie Caballero, 8 votes. I mean, who's the other guy who got the Leicester guy? Where Albrighton? He hasn't even got a vote. He was amazing today. I know that people, you have your bias. I know people, but come on, man. This ain't FIFA. You don't just vote for the man who scores, you know. I mean, speaking of man that scores, Pedro's not even in the top 10, and he got the winner. Madness. What is wrong?
Morata.
Honestly, I'm challenging you lot. What are you doing?
Morata, I can't believe it.
Morata. Crazy. But yeah, there we go. Make sure you got this downloaded. 80% of people that thought 40,000 people voted. 80% said Chelsea were going to win. Oh, and they're advertising the sale of a car on here. If anyone's looking to buy a car. There we go. 31,000 people there at the King Power State. I'm going to sneeze in a moment. I can feel it coming on. Hey, Terry. That's from Red Devils TV. What is cracking? Carl Butler, you said managerial. I don't know why you wrote managerial in a super chat, but I've read it out because those are the YouTube rules. You read out super chats. Terry is a joke. Oh, thanks, Nick. Oh, no, you're not being polite, is he? Why am I a joke? And you do realise that you can offend me all you want. My skin be very thick. It takes a lot more than that to upset me. It really, really does. We have a Chelsea fan call in.
Ooh, yes.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name, mate?
Oh, I'm Matt.
Hello, Matt. First question. Was Morata your man of the match today?
Absolutely not. No, it was Kante all the way.
So who did you vote for on the OneFootball app?
I voted for Kante, of course.
Even William,
You're one of the 13.
even William in the first half, I thought was played well. I mean,
William's in fantastic form though.
I think he's been your best player this season. Would I be right now?
Yeah, I'd put him and Azpilicueta as the best 2 this season for us.
Your mate Dave, yeah?
Yeah.
As they call him Dave, innit? Is that right?
Yeah, we can't spell his surname, so it's Dave.
I can't believe that they put Morata as a man. I mean, how do you feel? Do you feel that? Let's talk about the manager. Do you feel that he will be there next season?
I mean, I'd like him to be, but as you know, it's Roman Abramovich. He can't keep a manager for more than 2-3 seasons. Even if
he could be shipped off soon, judging by the news. What I'm hearing.
Well, it's true. I was thinking about. Can I ask you, as a Chelsea fan, can I ask you, like, look, we won't turn this into a political show,
No.
but they're kind of Man United was singled out because we one of our sponsors is a government-owned airline that obviously pays money into Man United, and that has been challenged. But obviously, the money that Abramovich has owned, although it's his money, it was earned through national. The money they've got a word for it. I'm not sure what it is. Are you worried about what's going on at the moment? That he might have to leave. He might have to leave the UK and maybe pull his money out. Would that worry you if it happened?
Well, obviously, if it happened, that'd be a shit show, isn't it? Like,
It'd be amazing. It would. Honestly, I mean, Chelsea owe him £1.1 billion, right?
Don't worry, he'll have Ken Bates back.
Yeah, I love it. Honestly, I'd love it. I would honestly love it. Can you imagine, like, Chelsea broke, and like all the players are standing outside the stadium with like for sale signs on them. It'd be brilliant. Louis in the corner crying. Yeah, it'd be great. Roman Abramovich is in handcuffs. Theresa May's dragging him through Heathrow, sending him back to Moscow. It's not going to happen, but it would be funny.
Even Usnell, for the Arsenal shareholder, could be.
Yeah, but he don't spend any money. It won't make any difference.
No, but he's got a major stake. He's still got a major stake in the club.
Very true. Well, Robbie can buy it then, can't he? Robbie can buy it.
He ain't far off it. You know? He ain't far off it.
As a Chelsea fan, mate, do you think you can win the FA Cup?
Oh, I think, well, if we've got the passion that we've actually got, it's obviously the last competition we can actually win this season. So we've got to put all of our effort into it. I think we can do it.
Yeah.
Good man. Look, really do appreciate your call.
I think the bigger thing for you, though, I think, is to finish top 4. I think that's important because I think, as I said to the previous caller, it'll be a major overhaul of the squad, and the players that you need to bring in will only come in if they're in the Champions League next season.
Exactly, yeah. I think we've got to beat. We've got Tottenham still to play, so if we can beat them, it's just.
That's probably a bigger game than the semi-final. That's in my opinion. But...
Yeah, I wouldn't be. Well, we rested in last year's semi-final against Tottenham. We rested half our team and we still beat them 4-2. So we can probably rest against Southampton.
Yeah,
absolutely true. Mate, really do appreciate your call.
All the best, mate.
Cheers,
Good
buddy.
call.
Thank you.
See you later.
Cheers.
Bye.
A comment here says Robbie loves making money off other people, not really a businessman at all. Not really being a businessman at all. Well, actually, I don't know how much money Robbie makes or doesn't make. None of us do. It's a bit of a joke. However, if you're a businessman, you do make money off of other people. That's the definition of a businessman. So go educate yourself.
Do you think he's going to put all that time in just for
nothing?
For the sake of it?
Mugs, mate. What Robbie has created is
he had to give up his old job.
Exactly. But what he has created as a platform is amazing. And whatever he does, whatever him and his family gain from this, it is deserved 10 times over. And anyone who's got an issue with it is just jealous, in my very humble opinion. So very, very salty.
He's also given the fans a chance to talk after games. I mean, that's incredible, really. I mean, the likes of me and DT and all, and Troops and Bully and people like and lead judges, they wouldn't have the chance to speak. You know?
No, exactly. And it's done a wonder.
And it's given them the chance. You know what I mean?
And it's given everybody on other clubs a platform. You know, I wouldn't be sitting there doing this. Do you know what I mean?
People rather listen to me than the pundits in the studio.
Yeah, McClure, you ain't wrong. We've got another Arsenal fan on the line now. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Gracie, and I'm an Arsenal fan.
Hello, Gracie.
Hello, Gracie.
Hello.
Good.
Hi.
Hi. What's on your mind? What would you like to say?
I just want to say, Chelsea, they've just gone downhill. What happened to being champions? We haven't heard. I haven't heard their name in ages. It's just ridiculous. What? Where have they been?
Well, they've been sitting in 5th.
As an Arsenal fan, I'm not going to judge them because we're not doing much better ourselves.
Well,
but
yeah, you're.
So we shouldn't talk. I mean, but at the end of the day, they are in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, but they're still in there.
True.
They still can get in the Champions League, which is more than what Arsenal can at the moment. Unless they win the Europa League, and that is.
I think with Chelsea though, what's gone wrong is it happens every 18 months to 2 years. The players have a falling out with the manager. Player power is rife at that football club and controls it. The manager doesn't get the players he wants. They throw their toys out their pram. They stop playing. Someone new will come in. This same group of players will probably go and win another Premier League title. And then 18 months later, they'll be in this exact same situation again. It's been happening for 12, 13 years now, continuously.
There's a lot of similarities with Chelsea and Arsenal in the case that they've lost all the characters, all the leaders, so-called leaders in their team. You look at Arsenal, we haven't really got a leader anymore in the team. Look at Chelsea, they've lost Terry, Drogba, Lampard, all Cole. Check. and all these players, and
Yeah.
they've all gone. They're all got leadership qualities,
And they're all out of there.
And they're all out. They haven't got those characters anymore. They've got good players, like Arsenal, good players, but have they got the
No
mental
one to glue that
edge,
together? No, I
now
agree.
to go on and be great again.
Gracie, looking at this FA Cup semi-final, who would you make favourites now?
I'm not too sure. I think probably Chelsea, yeah, maybe. They probably have the potential to win. But I'm not really too sure about that one.
What about your fierce local rivals, Tottenham? Do you, the most informed team left in the FA Cup? They've got obviously the likes of Son and Eriksen. They're tearing things up. Would you like to see them, for you lot in North London, would you like to see them go and do it to represent your part of London?
No. At the end of the day.
But they're repping North London. Better a North London team wins it than a Manchester or South West London team, eh?
Oh, well, if they're in North London or not, North London's red, you know. Tottenham haven't won in, 21, 22 years. Where's their silverware?
Yeah.
I think one League Cup about 10 years ago, weren't it?
Yeah.
Jonathan Woodgate winner.
I think until they actually put it. But then again, in the league, they've done a lot better than Arsenal in the last couple of seasons. So,
can I just say thank you so much for letting me through? Because I always watch half time from an Arsenal game and never been able to get through. But now finally,
that's okay.
Not a problem at all. We honestly we don't actually have the system's very simplistic here. You phone and we answer whoever calls in first. So yeah, sorry we haven't got you on before. Feel free to call up as much as you want, and we'll always. So one thing we'll do here, very differently to your sort of mainstream media, is we try and get as many opinions on as we can, but we give you more than say 20, 30 seconds to say your piece. So
and we don't bleep you out either. So
yeah, we don't have a drop dump button. But look, Gracie, thank you very, very much for giving us a bell.
Yep, thank you very much.
Lovely, take care. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Cool. We've got a video coming up from Lewis from 100% Chelsea in a few minutes. We'll do. But we had a super chat comment on here from Kyle Butler. I have to read this out. He sent me £2. Thank you. It's going to go a long way for my trip to America. I am saving up for a trip to America, so as much as you guys can donate as possible would be great. Thank you. He says, how long would you give Jose if he loses the semi-final? I'll ask Claude that first and I'll answer it. If he loses the semi-final, do you think Jose has still done enough so far at United to get at least another year?
Yeah, I think he'll get. I think Man United don't. No, I feel. Look, they're finishing second. They're going to finish second, aren't they?
Yeah.
In the league.
So hopefully.
Yeah, I think he'll get another year to build again. You know what I mean? I think he'll probably need a couple of more players in the summer. There'll be probably a few going out. But I do think he'll get another season. He normally goes free, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So,
look, I'll answer. I'm very much. If you look, I said at the start of the season, a successful year for Man United.
The trouble with sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, that's fine.
The trouble with your fans, and I think where it divides, is that they want that. They don't like the style of football, and it's the we want that style where you had the two wingers. You know,
I'm accepting of the style if he wins. So from my point, I said at the start of the season, cementing top four and winning a trophy was a successful season. If he doesn't win the FA Cup and we finish top four, for me it's an underperforming season. However, I still have that. You then look at the answer. Do you then sack the manager? I believe that Jose could, even if he doesn't win a trophy this year, I believe, as you say, with a few additional signings, with some of these younger players being an extra year more mature, he could go on to win something the following year. I want him to at least see out the first 3 years of his contract. He's got a year extension. That's me personally. However, if we don't win the FA Cup, for me, I will mark it down as a disappointing season, because if you're not going to play the flamboyant, attacking, beautiful football, you have. If you're going to sacrifice that for results, the results that Man United need to be winning trophies, and I don't think I'll never yield from that expectation.
I think we'll give it another season.
Yeah, I agree.
If they don't make any progress, then I think he will go.
Absolutely. We've got the video ready now from Lewis from 100% Chelsea. We're going to play that for you now, and we'll be back in a few short moments. Thank you.
What's going on, UFF? Lewis from 100% Chelsea here. We just left the King Power Stadium. Chelsea have just beaten Leicester 2-1. Honestly, if you ask my opinion, I think we dominated the game, but it's been the same problem that we've had many times. It's just we struggle to kill off teams. That's been our main problem. We can take the lead, we can dominate them, but we can't seem to get that second goal, that third goal, or whatever's necessary just to kill them off and make the game ours. Basically, we always seem to leave that little window of opportunity for other sides, and that's what's come into play today. I thought my personal man of the match is N'Golo Kante. I thought he was a joke today. The way he just drives the ball forward, the way he just simply does his job, and he does 10 times more on top. Kante literally does everything, and you can just see when he was injured in October, you can see how much we lost in terms of just that extra fight, and that's what someone like N'Golo Kante gives you. But I thought a lot of players today also didn't really play their best. I thought Hazard has been off form for a while. He overthinks everything, and it's just the case of today as well. There were plenty of opportunities where he could have gone for the shot and he instead waited to make the pass. I thought Bakayoko was awful again. I thought maybe he could start to show something. The only thing he really did was make simple, basic passes. Whenever he was under any other sort of pressure, he just lost the ball. But on the positive side, I thought Azpilicueta and Christensen improved today. They've had a bit of stick over recent performances, but I do think that they've improved today. I thought Rudiger's passing could have improved, but other than that, he had a pretty decent game. Moses defensively was good, but going forward, he was poor. Who else I left out? Alonso, I thought, had a good game. I thought Willian had another great game before his injury, but you could see that small dip afterwards, which is why he got sent off. But other than that, yeah, pretty satisfied with the performance. We're through to the semi-finals. We got Southampton. Really happy with that. That's the easiest draw out of the three. If we don't make it through to the final, we don't deserve to be in it. Simple as. We should be beating Southampton. But yeah, this is my review for UFF. I'm pretty satisfied with the performance. Now I'm going to go home because it is freezing out here. See you guys.
Thank you very much for sending that video in. And remember, if you are out there and you want to send in videos after any of the games that we do FanPark Live for, there is a Dropbox option in our description below. You can record it 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, send it through, and we'll always try to get on as many of them as we can. So if you're a budding young YouTuber anywhere around the world, you can get that done. But listen, myself and Claude, we're going to love you and leave you all now. Thank you so much for tuning in to FanPark Live. Before you go though, make sure you go and check out the Ultimate Football Fan application. The information is in the description below. And don't
forget my channel.
Yes, of course. We'll touch on Claude's channel in a minute. And of course, the One Football app, get that done as well. And if you're not a subscriber of Claude's channel, tell them when they can find you on the old YouTube of the tube.
Gooner Claude TV.
The camera's there. Tell the camera.
Sorry. Gooner Claude TV. Subscribe. Please. I need some subscribers. Come on.
Go check. What are you on now? About 9,000, 10,000?
Nearly 9,600.
Let's get this geezer up to 10,000 subs by the end of the day. Let's get that done. Do your thing, YouTube. Listen, everybody take care. God bless. Have a wonderful evening, whatever you're doing, wherever you are around the world. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Take care.